Should we welcome in Tom Hamilton, Louise?
Let's go from one World Cup champion to a World Cup legend.
I've got to say, it's so intimidating to follow a US international and a man who's won the World Cup. And I was trying to think of my achievements, and all I've got is a 25-meter swimming badge, and I think that's about it.
Yes!
So I think because
wear it with pride, Tom. Wear it with pride.
So listen, we're not going to go all US with you right now, Tom, because we want to focus on what happened with England in their game against Wales. It finished 3-0. What's the overriding story from this clash, other than the fact that they're group leaders that they go through as?
Yeah, I think it's a case of job done, to be honest. I mean, the first half, again, was pretty turgid stuff. It wasn't very interesting. Like, England managed to fashion a couple of decent chances. Rashford probably had the best one. But with the 4 changes that Southgate made, I think you're probably hoping for a bit more sort of impetus in that first half. But in the second half, it came good. Rashford, wonderful free kick. Phil Foden, really, really nice work goal. And then Rashford again. They had a chance to sort of empty the bench. They managed to, on the face of it, keep everyone fit. So, to be honest, I think, again, that first half was a concern, but we've seen so many 0-0 first halves in this World Cup. It's almost like that first half is them shadow boxing until the main event, and they realise, actually, they're in a World Cup group match. Let's get going at half-time. But for Southgate, job done. They've won the group, and now it's Senegal.
The typical narrative, I think, Kay Murray, for England right now. We freak out in the middle, we're happy at the beginning, and we get the job done in the end. The only question mark I had, who am I to question, because at least they won 3-0, was why did you start Harry Kane? I was a little worried about that. Hopefully, nothing wrong will happen into the game against Senegal. But like Tom said, look, at the end of the day, the objective is done. And now all focus on Senegal, who, by the way, they're so much more than Sadio Mane. So I'm going to be interested to see how England lines up against this one. But overall, the objective was to win this group, and they did it, Kay. So England fans should be happy.
Yeah, and I wonder as well, Tom, if Gareth Southgate, with some of the changes that we saw today and the fact that Rashford now has 3 goals in 3, we saw Phil Foden, which everybody was calling for. He's come in and scored a goal in this one. Do you think it will have changed his mind about anything going forward when it comes to his starting 11?
Sorry, I've got the aircon cough, which Anthony, the Brazilian player, has been talking about.
Yeah, it's an actual thing. Also, according to my Italian husband.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Anthony said, by the way, the air conditioning within the stadiums are causing a few issues to players, and I completely agree. It is. And by the way, Kay, you lived in Miami, so you had aircon all the time. So I'm sure you know what we're talking.
Yeah, we did. And just to add to that, so I won't bore everyone. I feel that all the Europeans who have first moved to the United States as well, where AC is life, they can't get used to it. It takes so long to get used to it. So that's really funny to hear players have been upset about the AC.
But Tom, are you okay now? Are you good?
Oh, absolutely fine. Yeah, good to go. Just a momentary setback. But I think it's the interesting thing, right? Talk about Mason Mount and talk to anyone who knows him really well, any coaches, managers, and they absolutely swear by him. So
they love him.
So many of them, yeah, absolutely adore him. And they say, it's the old sort of proverbial first name on the team sheet sort of thing. But look, Foden tonight, he really did put down a marker and showing that he does bring that creative spark. There was that wonderful little move with Bellingham in the first half. Bellingham was absolutely outstanding again. And they got it, when they start, when they click, when they're starting to enjoy themselves, you can see them trying these little moves and it just pulls defences apart. So I don't think Foden could have done any more if he's to try and force his way into the team. And what a lovely headache for Southgate to have, to be honest. I would personally like to see Foden stay in there. I think he's earned his spot. But again, really, I wouldn't be surprised if Southgate goes back to Mount, and then what a wonderful impact sub to have in Foden.
Yeah, Mason Mount is the equivalent of that kid at school that brought the apple to the teacher every single day and asked for more.
They love him. They like.
I mean, he's great, but to Tom's point, Phil Foden has to find a way to get in here. He's so great, and I think specifically against an opponent like Senegal, because Senegal are a team that are going to be adventurous going forward. They're going to be a little bit lackadaisical at the back. They just are. That, Ecuador and Senegal was kind of like a back and forth. And England, because they have so much more control within their midfield, they can really penetrate those spaces. who better than Phil Foden? So, like Tom said, it's a good headache for Gareth Southgate to have for sure.
What did you make of Harry Kane then, Tom, in this game? Because he obviously had that assist for Phil Foden. And then there was that chance early on from Rashford, I think like the 10th minute. Kane had set that up. It was saved by Wards. But assist man as well as a scorer for Harry Kane.
Yeah, and this is what he's become, hasn't he, really? He's kind of become the perfect 9.5, I guess. He's sort of somewhere in between both those roles. And I mean, he worked really well with Rashford today. That ball for Foden was just like bang on the money, absolutely pinpoint. So I know that we've been hoping that he was going to sort of tie the England men's goal scoring record here. But I think, to be honest, Southgate would be so pleased with him. And obviously there was that ankle injury, a few concerns there earlier on. He seems to kind of come through that okay. So again, as we said earlier, I know it's probably a slightly dull football trope, but it's job done for England, really. Keep everyone fit. Move on to Senegal. They've got good options. They gave Callum Wilson another go from the bench today as he sort of plays his way into the team. You could even play Rashford up there on his own if you needed to, with Kane just behind. But equally, when you're facing a team like this, where it was noticeable at half-time they switched Foden and Rashford onto different wings as well, they're so versatile, and that must be an absolute nightmare to plan against.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.